Hey, coming to you from Riverside Resort. I am Christina. And
I'm Joe.
This is my husband, Joe. We're married.
Husband
we
to
belong
the
to
resort
each other.
owner.
Yeah. Actually, that is a funny story. People just assume, which is very kind, and I just love that. They think I just do all the things, all the emails, all the phone calls, all the things. And I do a fair amount. However, it's this man that ends up doing a lot of that in the wintertime, especially just with me being committed to other things. So what's your story again? How did that, what did happen?
Yeah, I don't know how that, someone just around the resort, we get questions on are you the maintenance man? Are you the garbage man? Are you this? And one of the questions I got was, are you the husband to the owner?
Yes.
I just kindly smiled and I said, yes, I'm the husband to the owner.
Yes. So everyone, I am the owner and this is my assistant, Joe.
No, it's a fun partnership that we have.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We do make a really good team and it's fun being able to work together here at the resort. And we just love providing our guests and all of you out there that come to Riverside Resort, and we love seeing you every time that you come, and it's just a super exciting time.
We just wanted to kind of kick off somewhat of a YouTube channel. We'll periodically be putting videos, answering questions, giving you kind of behind the scenes look at our lives, most specifically with regard to operating the resort. Still don't really have a name for this channel, so if you have any suggestions, let us know.
Resorting is something that I didn't even really know about growing up. So I grew up in Wisconsin. And during the summers, my family and I, we had a pop-up and we'd go camping at different state parks and things like that. So I had never had a resort experience. So then I met this handsome fella, and he introduced me to resorting. And at first when he was talking about a resort, I'm thinking like an all-inclusive resort, kind of like in Mexico. And I'm like, I don't really understand what you're talking about. So he introduced me to the life of the resort. I fell in love with Joe, and I was like, oh, a resort, that sounds wonderful. We got married, and then we did end up taking on the resort, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. And it's awesome though. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the people, enjoy being able to do it with my family. Yeah, I can go into more detail later, but that is a quick look at how I got here.
My family grew up here, and I always didn't realize this till I got older, but I realized hospitality wasn't just something we did, it was a way of life. You don't just say, I'm going to be hospitable from 9 to 5 and then check out and don't worry about your guests. You just have to have a lifestyle of hospitality and a mindset of serving others. And I think that segued into a lot of different aspects of my life and my career as a pilot and wanting to be on the more corporate side, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But when we got married, we quickly kind of started to realize what is our why here on earth. And I mean, I'll just briefly go through the 3 questions I think all of us need to ask ourselves is, how did we get here on earth? Where are we going when we leave, and what are we doing while we're here? I got 2 of the 3 pretty solidly foundation on what I believe in those, but what's our why together, and what's our why for our family? And it all circled around hospitality and serving others. And so that segued perfectly into this resort. And after 12 years, we certainly don't know it all, but we've loved it and hope to continue it for several more years.
Well, how did you like growing up here? Like, did you always know that this is what you wanted to do?
So I always enjoyed growing up here. I always knew that when I got older I wanted a family, and I always wanted to have that a possibility to raise my kids here, raise my family here. Didn't have any clue how that would segue into my dreams outside of the resort with regard to flying and things that I wanted to accomplish. I tried to manufacture ways that may look, and it just, I felt like the Lord dropped this awesome opportunity with what I do now with flying and the resort, and paired it really nicely. We get that a lot. They assume that we just close the doors in October and put our feet up, but it's a year-round mission to keep this place successful in the summer. And so in the off season, obviously it takes about a month or so to get everything winterized and closed down, and then it's the big Christmas mailing. You probably all got a letter from us recently, and then it's brainstorming how we can make your vacation next summer even better. And we have a lot of exciting ideas for you for the 2024 season, but just our heart behind operating the resort is that the guests that come year after year after year, that they always see or experience something different, and that We keep the core, the heart, and the mission behind the resort the same, and you get that same family feel. But you just get to try something new. You get to experience something new. Not all of our ideas are wildly successful, but a lot of them have been really fun. And so that's our goal. We have some new activities, new experiences, hoping for 2024. We have new ventures that will be in a future video here quickly, even away from the resort. And you want to talk about homeschooling a little bit?
Oh, sure. So a lot of people ask me, what do I do? And they usually are like, oh, are you enjoying just relaxing and enjoying the non-busy season? And every season of life is so good and I love it. But this is a pretty busy season. I have the privilege of homeschooling 3 of our 4 children. And for those of you that do homeschool, you do understand it is a commitment. And I'm very thankful for that. But that does keep me quite busy. So in between kind of doing different things for the resort and kind of teaching the children, then we are also, we're obviously family is super big to us. And that's why we were really excited to be able to do a family resort like this that we are able to operate and run. But we follow our kids to a lot of basketball games in the winter, which is really fun. And we just enjoy doing that and being able to support our children. So that's kind of, when I say it, it really doesn't sound like it's that much, but honestly, it keeps us pretty busy. But then we're also pretty involved with our church here. It's between here and Cold Spring, River of Life. And so we get really involved with that, kind of doing life groups, and our kids do youth group and do different things, volunteering at church. So that kind of all keeps us busy. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Days go by fast.
Yeah, so our oldest son is in high school, the public school system, but she's a full-time teacher for 3 different grade levels. So that's a huge workload. And for me, we go through all 20 cabins and figure out what needs to be remodeled, what needs to be fixed, what do we want to improve, and pick away at that throughout the winter. Right now, the exterior grounds kind of look like a war zone in some areas because we took down 3 very large dead trees, and those are need to be cut up and split and all that kind of stuff. And then I do have a career outside of the resort as a corporate pilot, and I'll touch on that in a different video. But that has me flying all over the U.S. various times throughout the week, and I love it. But between those things, and we make a living out of it, and we lead this crazy life that
Wouldn't trade for the world.
Well, thanks for listening in, everyone. This has been the finish of our first behind-the-scenes look at our life in Riverside Resort. So we'll see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.